This week's picks and week of football is incredibly important. We're going to talk about that. What is up, football fans? Week 14 of NFL picks. I'm ready for Christmas. I don't know if I had this up last week. I don't think I did because I had my dad here for the picks and I haven't as fancy-ified. But we're ready for Christmas. Like I said, this week for the picks is very, very, very important. We're going to talk about that real quick. Got to shout out my guys at Patch Vibes. You want to grab yourself one of these Bama Jams? You want to grab a Don Shula patch? They got t-shirts. They just put out a new Don Shula t-shirt. Essentially, it's the patch, but it's on a t-shirt. They got some great stuff over there. Go to patchvibes.com. Use the promo code DDW to get yourself 20% off. Also, real quick, I'm going to go more into detail on some of this Dolphin news in tomorrow's video where I break down the Dolphins taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. But the Miami Dolphins re-signed Isaiah Ford, wide receiver, who the Patriots cut. So the Dolphins essentially got a 7th-round pick for nothing from the New England Patriots. You also bring in running back Elijah McGuire. He's now on the practice squad as well as Ford. Again, I will delve more into that in tomorrow's video. Also, safety Nate Holley and corner Jamal Perry have been put on the COVID exempt list. But again, tomorrow in that video where I break down the Chiefs taking on the Dolphins, I'll go more into the whole Perry the Isaiah Ford situation. Talk a little bit about Elijah McGuire. And I got my boy Josh Houts on to help me break down the Dolphins taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. So look out for that video to come out tomorrow. But let's jump into these picks. And your boy did real well. So I was 3 games behind you guys. And we had 3 difference of picks. Let me go back to the old last week's. You guys picked the Cardinals. I picked the Rams. You guys picked the Chargers. I picked the Patriots. And there was one more. You guys picked the Bears. I picked the Lions. I won all 3 of those. So as we sit right now, me and you guys are tied. So you guys went 9-6 last week and with a 130 and 61. I went 12-3 last week. How you doing? So I'm sitting at a 130 and 61. So we are now officially tied. I came back on you guys like a little hurricane. Then my dad went 9-6. He's 121 and 71. So my dad's 10 spots behind us. I don't know if he can make up ground. He's got 4 weeks to make up ground. He needs to pick differently than us, but it's going to be big. Like I said in the intro, this week is incredibly important when it comes to playoffs and even divisional standings, right? There's 4 games this week where potential playoff teams are facing each other that can have huge implications on that. You got the Dolphins taking on the Chiefs. You got the Raiders taking on the Colts. You have the Steelers taking on the Bills. And you have the Ravens taking on the Browns. Very, very, especially the AFC implications. There's a lot of other implications because there's some teams that are coming up and doing really well. And I will talk about those right now as we jump into tonight's game, which is the New England Patriots 6-6 taking on those LA Rams. Now, Patriots won last week. They're creeping back up. 2 games behind the Dolphins, 3 games behind the Bills. Creeping back up into that wild card talk, even creeping back up into the division talk a little bit. It's going to be in the AFC. You need to have a 10-6 or better. Even 10-6 might not get you in this year because the AFC looks really, really dangerous. But you got the Patriots coming back after a nice win. They're getting on a roll, taking on the Rams, who, like I said, I picked them last week to beat the Cardinals, and they did. I'm going with the Rams in this one. I just think that their defense is a little bit better. They'll be able to contain Cam Newton and really stop whatever offense the Patriots have. My father's going with the Patriots, and you guys with an 84.8 are also going with the Rams. Then we have the 1 o'clock game. I'm going to get a little bit bitter when I talk about the Dolphins, Chiefs, and the television. But that'll be when I talk about the Dolphins, Chiefs, which is normally last. We have the Vikings taking on the Buccaneers. And I said this. I said, Vikings are hot. And yes, they lost the week before. I said they're hot. So they won 3 games. They lost. And that week, after that week, I said the hot Vikings. And, I'm taking the Vikings. They're hot. And right now, they're sitting at the 7th place in the wild card. So a lot of people were like, They just lost. Why are you calling this team hot? Because they beat 3 teams, one of them being the Packers, and now they're sitting in a wild card spot. Taking on the 7-5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 1 game behind the Buccaneers. Vikings are getting hot. Now, this game was hard for me to pick. You know, Delvin Cook is just really helping out that Vikings team, and Tom Brady's not helping out that Buccaneers team throwing those deep interceptions. But that Buccaneers defense is pretty good. So I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this one. My father is as well. You guys with 78.6 also going with the Bucs. But this game can go either way, back and forth. So it's going to be good. But like I said, Blues Vikings are getting hot, getting real hot. Then we have the 6-6 Cardinals taking on those 5-7 who beat the Seattle Seahawks. You gotta. Dolphins couldn't do it, but the Giants pulled that off. Entertainer, I don't know if you're watching this. KD, I don't know if you're watching this. Congratulations. I was rooting for you guys to win that game, and the Giants pulled that game off, even though I picked Seattle. You guys sit 5-7. Number 1 in your division right now. The Kings of the NFC least. And again, Vikings sitting at number 6, 6-6. So if the Giants can pull off this upset victory, go 6-6, even if they don't win the division, if they continue to build on the success, they can even make it in a wild card. Because you'll see in the NFC, there's a lot of 6-6, 5-7 teams. The AFC seems like the harder division right now. But unfortunately, Giant fans, and you guys are probably upset. I'm still rooting for you guys. I really hope, but I want to win this picks battle with the subscribers. I'm going to be rooting for you guys, but I think Kyler Murray with his speed and, you know, DeAndre Hopkins, all that stuff, I don't think you guys are going to be able to match blow with blow, or blow by blow, or whatever it's called, with them. I'm going with the Cardinals. My father's going with the Cardinals, and you guys with 69.7 also going with the Cardinals. But like I said, I'll be rooting for them Giants. Then we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-11. Titans should win this one. Going with the Titans. My dad's going with the Titans. You guys with the 97.5 go with the Titans. If the Titans lose this one, that'd help out the Dolphins, potentially staying at a wild card spot. And then we have the Cowboys taking on the Bengals. This one is sneakily good. Sneakily good. Now, Cowboys still have somewhat of a chance to win the division, but I don't know if they have much of a chance to get a playoff spot. They're too far behind. I'm going Cowboys. I like the way Ezekiel is playing, and they surprising some people. They were in there with the Steelers. I'm going Cowboys in this one. I think the Bengals are too banged up, and I don't like the Bengals anymore because of how dirty they play, stepping on my offensive lineman's foot. I'm glad you're suspended for a game. And number 80 should also have been suspended, but that's a horse of a different color and for a different time. My father's going with the Bengals, and you guys with the 78.2 also going with the Cowboys. So my dad going different, could potentially pick up some space on that one. Then we have the Houston Texans 4-8 taking on those Chicago Bears at 5-7. The Bears need to win this game if they want to have any hope for the last 3 games of the season to get into the wild card and into the playoffs at all. Like I said, this week is huge playoff implication. I'm going with the Bears in this one. I think their defense is a little bit better. I think they'll be able to maintain and contain the Houston Texans. Also, I'd like the Houston Texans to lose a little bit more. I'd like to get a higher draft pick, being a Dolphin fan. My father's also going with the Bears, and you guys with the 54.2 going with the Chicago Bears. Then we have the Denver Broncos 4-8 taking on the Panthers 4-8. Now, this is just a game for morality. I don't think either of these guys really have the chance with so many 6-6, 5-7 teams, even 7-5 teams sitting ahead of them to make the playoffs. This is just a morality. Even with the Broncos, there's no chance of the Broncos making the playoffs. But I like the Panthers. I like Teddy Bridgewater, even though they don't have Christian McCaffrey back. He seems to try to come back, but it's not working for him. I like the Panthers in this one. My dad likes the Denver Broncos. I don't see it as a bad pick at all. This game can go either or, back and forth. Broncos have a pretty decent defense. Vic knows what he's doing. Fangio. You guys with a 63.4 also going with the Panthers. So again, this is my father versus us. Then we have the 0-12 New York Jets taking on the 8-4 Seattle Seahawks. Greg Williams got fired. He got fired for one of the stupidest calls I have ever seen in football. Now, people keep telling me, hey, the Jets want to lose. Jets wants Trevor Lawrence. They're doing everything in their power to lose, Doug. But this is what I don't understand, right? You look back at the Dolphins when they were tanking for Tua, right? You look at the Steelers game, you look at the Washington football game, even the Steelers game, we sent out that whole out blitz before the half, even though we were doing really well, gave them that easy touchdown. The Washington football game where, instead of just kicking the extra point going to overtime, we went for 2. Horrible play, lost the game. People were like, the Dolphins are tanking. Look how bad. They blew those calls. That made sense to say that because Brian Flores was just signed, locked in, tore it down, was building his team his way. So it made sense that he's going to be back next year. And there's no implication that any of those players, coaches, or anyone are going to get fired yet. The Jets, on the other hand, there is no one coming back. If Adam Gase comes back, I'll be ecstatic because that means the Jets don't know what they're doing and they're going to ruin Trevor Lawrence. But Greg Williams, Adam Gase, whoever their offense coordinator is, they're not coming back. So to tank for somebody else who's going to come in and do better for you is stupid and it doesn't look good on your resume. So that whole game made no sense to me. Just prevent. Drop everyone back. You had 9 seconds left, tackle in bounds, you win. But they didn't. Horrible play call. They lost. Maybe they gave Greg Williams a bonus or something. Some of you guys, it just doesn't make sense to me. Seattle's winning this one. I'm picking Seattle. You guys, my father. You guys with the 93.2 picking Seattle. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It was such a stupid play, and he got fired for it. Now it's on his resume for such a stupid play. Then we have the Colts taking on the Raiders. Now this game, either or helps us, Kind of want to see the Colts lose this one just so it helps pad our stats. So if we do potentially lose, we still have that tie. So we want, as Dolphin fans, we want to be rooting for the Raiders to win this game. This is a game that we want the Raiders to win and beat the Colts. So Raiders in this one, but I'm picking the Colts. I think their defense is good, and I really like the way that defense is playing. The Raiders barely beat the Jets and lost to the Falcons. I'm not afraid of the Raiders anymore. I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm picking the Colts. But my father's picking the Raiders, which is good. As a Dolphin fan, you want the Raiders to win this one, and you guys with a 83.6 also going with the Colts. Again, write this down. We want the Raiders to win this game. Then we have the 5-7 football team taking on the 5-7 49ers. Again, 5-7, 5-7. There's still somewhat of a chance for these teams to make the playoffs. So this is a big game. But I like Washington. I like the way that defense playing. I like their front four on that defense. I'm going Washington. 49ers laid a big egg against the Bills. Kind of hurt my feelings on that one, especially since the Bills haven't won a Monday night game since the 1999. So I'm going Washington on this one. My father's going Washington. You guys with the 56.3 also going with a Washington. And then we have the Saints taking on the Eagles. Eagles now have Jalen Hurts in there starting. They benched Carson Wentz. Big move. Could this be an upset special? Could Jalen Hurts come in and trigger some life into this team? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they have any type of chance to come back and try to take the division. Saints still have Taysom Hill in there with his first touchdown last week. I'm going with the Saints in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles made it competitive now with Jalen Hurts in there. My father's going with the Saints. You guys with the 94.5. I'm going with the Saints. 4-8 Falcons taking on the 3-9 Chargers. And Chargers last week against the Patriots. What was that? It was bad Chargers. It was bad for Justin Herbert had his first bad game. And it was a bad game. I'm going with the Chargers in this one. I think Chargers are going to bounce back. And I think Justin Herbert's going to have a pretty good game against his Falcon defense. Dad's going with the Falcons, and you guys with 63.9 going with the Falcons. So if the Falcons win, you guys get that little bit of a lead back because I think only 2 games we picked differently, and that's the first one. Then we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions. Again, 5-7. A lot of these 5-7, 6-6 teams are still in discussion. I'm going with the Packers, though. Packers are dangerous. They're playing really well. I like the way the Packers are playing. Lions are playing different. That is the reason I picked them last week against the Bears, because without Matt Patricia there, it seems like the team's playing a little bit harder. So this is another game. Don't be surprised that the Lions win this one. But I'm going with Green Bay. My father's going Green Bay. You guys with the 94.1. Also going with the Green Bay Packers. Then we have the Sunday night game. Not Monday night, Sunday night. I'm trying to get dramatic with the voice here. The 11-1 Steelers. Washington, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys helping us by beating them Steelers. Who would have thought? No one would have thought the Steelers would have lost to the Washington football team, but they did it. They got that interception, sealed the victory. 11-1 Steelers taking on the 9-3 Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Now, obviously, as Dolphin fans, we want the Steelers to win this one, hands down. I'm picking the Steelers to win this one because I think they're going to be pissed that they lost to a Washington football team that is inferior to them. And I hope they demolish the Bills, absolutely demolish the Bills, and take this one. My father's taking the Steelers. You guys with a 72.2, also taking the Steelers. Then we have the Monday night game. This Monday night game is a very big game, not only for these teams, not only for playoffs, but also for the Dolphins. We have the Baltimore Ravens sitting at 7-5, taking on the Cleveland Browns sitting at 9-3. Now, I'm picking the Ravens to win this one. I think the Ravens have the better team here, even though the Browns are coming on real hot. This has nothing to do with what I think about the Browns, because I think the Browns are coming on real hot. I think they're doing really, really well. I just think that the Ravens are coming back, and they got Lamar Jackson getting back into the fold, and they're starting to get into their groove. So I'm picking the Ravens in this one. My father's going with the Browns, and you guys with the 63.7 also going with the Browns. And as Dolphin fans, that's what we want. We want the Cleveland Browns to beat the Baltimore Ravens, because the Baltimore Ravens after this game have a very easy schedule. So we don't want the chance for the Baltimore Ravens to go 11-5 and hurt our chances of making the playoffs. So we want Cleveland, Oakland, Pittsburgh. We want those three teams to win. Write it down. Cleveland, Las Vegas. I said Oakland, Las Vegas, and Pittsburgh. We want those three teams to win, and it would help us out drastically, because just in case. Because the game of the game, and this game, unfortunately, I'll pop the map up. If you see that little yellow area, that's where I live in New Jersey. But if you see the whole Northeast, they're all getting the Dolphins and Chiefs game at 1 o'clock, but I'm getting no game at 1 o'clock because I got the Jets at 4 o'clock. I'm hoping that changes by the time Sunday comes, because I will be live. Got the Kansas City Chiefs heading down to Miami. Miami's wearing their throwback jerseys. Hopefully they bring us luck. It's been 2 years since the Miami Miracle. 2 years. Will we get another miracle? We're going to need it. This is a very big game. I'm going to delve deeper into this. Tomorrow's video, I have Josh Houts coming on. He's going to be helping me talking about this game. So if you want my prediction, you want to know how I feel about this game, watch tomorrow's video. It's a big, big video. Put it on your calendar. Friday, big video. It's probably going to come out around 3 o'clock because I'm waiting for the injury report to come out so I can give you guys a full injury breakdown. But my father's taking the Fins. He always takes the Fins. It doesn't matter if we're playing an undefeated great team. He's taking the Fins. And you guys, with a 75.2, are taking the Fins too. I guess you guys are feeling pretty good, pretty confident about this one. But like I said, watch tomorrow's video. It's going to be a big, big video. But that is the picks video. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Like I said, 4 big games for the AFC. There's a ton of big games for the NFC. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm going to get to you guys comment of the day. This comment comes from Valen, and he says, how many offensive linemen do you believe need to grow or be replaced to solidify a good run game? To me, honestly, it all starts with the guards. I know a lot of you guys are like, why do we keep running up the middle? It's because we don't really have fast or that athletic of guards to be able to pull. So a lot of the pitches, a lot of the screenplays, a lot of things to the outside can't really happen with the guards. So I'm thinking it's the guard situation. And it's so funny too, because I liked Eric Flowers. I still like Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers was playing very solid all year. I got a lot of flack for saying that I didn't mind the Eric Flowers pick signing. Obviously, I want a different guard there, but he got franchise tagged by the New England Patriots. But it's funny. Solomon Kinley comes in, plays left guard. They move Jesse Davis to right guard, and the line plays a little bit better with the run game. We'll see how they do against this really good Chiefs defensive line. Again, I will talk more about that tomorrow. But the guard, for me, it's the guard position that really needs to step up, because I think Robert Hunt and I think Austin Jackson are playing really well, and I like Ted Karras in the middle. He's only on a 1-year contract. He won't be back next year unless the Dolphins re-sign him, which they might draft somebody. But I think it starts with the guard. Phelan, I hope I answered your question. But that's the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And also be sure to go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Tweeting out a ton of things over there. Also, check out Fanatics Network. Fantastic. They got the website, fanaticsnetwork.com. They got their YouTube channel, Fanatics Network. Go over there, check that out. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Ton of good stuff over there. Speaking of football content, Fan to Fan Network. I'm a part of it. Dan Mitchell's a part of it. Jet Central's a part of it. I can raffle off the list. Big Cat's a part of it. There's so many. Nothing But Niners is a part. There's so many NFL YouTubers that are part of it. It's big hodgepodge of us guys. So be sure to go over, check it out. We also have the YouTube channel that we do live streams 11 o'clock before the Sunday games. So be sure to check that stuff out as well. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big video. Break down the Chiefs versus the Dolphins. This is the game of the year for us. This is the most important game this year. And I'm going to be breaking it down tomorrow, probably at 3 o'clock. So I want to see a ton of views. I want to see a ton of likes. I want to see a ton of comments, because this is big. So big, I brought in Josh Houtz. I needed the help. I brought my man in. So be sure to check out tomorrow's video. But other than that, like usual, guys, stay classy. Fins up.